You wanted this child to bring other children, so that you could abuse more than one child.
A former Labour minister has been arrested after a vigilante paedophile sting. You know when they do those things like To Catch a Paedophile? I mean, they're amazing TV shows. It's pretty high stakes, isn't it? What they usually do is get a young underage person, a child, to sort of like go, hey, do you want to come over? And the paedophile, of course, being into such matters due to the nature of their pedophilia. Oh, yeah, and this is an English one. Oh, yes, please, I'll give that a go. It sounds rather fun. Oh, I wouldn't mind a bit of that. Oh, I wouldn't mind a bit of that, mate. The paedophile is, of course, lured, and then the sting takes place. Well, someone's done one of those stings on a British member of Parliament. Let me know in the comments and chat how deep you reckon that kind of stuff goes, how much paedophilia there is in government, and how, I guess that's what people primarily say about Epstein, is it's part of a network of ideas and actions where people that are in power or might one day be in power are compromised due to their sexual conduct, and that means that whoever really controls power can always use the clandestine information about their sexual peccadillos or indeed crimes against them. And whilst that would have been in the 1980s like a preposterous conspiracy theory, here in 2025 there's some evidence of it. And we've also got this extraordinary bit of BBC footage. If you've not seen this yet, you're going to love it, where a kind of House of Cards style behind the scenes political apparatchik talks about how sex scandals and child abuse are often covered up in order to have power over the perpetrator going into the future. So let's have a look at all that now, starting with this contemporary tale of pedophilia, a British MP being exposed by a paedophile sting. So this is from The Spectator, that's a British publication. Ivor Caplin, former Labour MP, emerged from obscurity to offer his thoughts on Musk. Blair's former defence minister, whoa, so he had pretty senior positions, went on GB News last Sunday to criticise Musk's tweets about Starmer and Phillips. Caplin declared these tweets were unacceptable, and it would be even more unacceptable if he was to become a serious and senior member of the Trump administration. Look at the haughtiness and the confidence. This is unacceptable. Then a week later, it says here in The Spectator, it's been transpired that he's been arrested on suspicion of child sex offences after a sting by paedophile hunters. Oh. Footage of Caplin in handcuffs was live streamed on Facebook and lasted 30 minutes and got more than 36,000 views. Man, the world has changed, isn't it? We live in a world now where a paedophile can be stung in real time. It's so astonishing. So while making sort of confident claims of condemnation about Elon Musk, the next thing we know, a paedophile hunter can I mean, the only clear way through it is to not be a paedophile, it seems. We are aware of footage circulating on social media, says a press release, showing a man in Brighton being detained on suspicion of engaging in online sexual communications with a child. Officers can confirm the local 66-year-old man was arrested on Saturday the 11th and he remains in custody. Caplin denies wrongdoing, remains in custody. It comes months after he was suspended from the party after undisclosed serious allegations, which he denies. Amazing! What an extraordinary story that is. Oh, here's some. Oh my God, we've got actual video of it.
This child was.
And you wanted this child to bring other children, so that you could abuse more than one child.
No.
You used to be you used to be a veterans minister, didn't you?
Never happened.
Did you? Yeah. Yeah, we're all veterans, and do you know what? It makes me absolutely sick that you had anything to do with our armed forces.
And then that's his bag as well, that's a lot of water. I thought you'd get your bottle of water back. And sweets.
Right, I'm just going to search you before we go in there, okay? How many layers have you got underneath
There's
this?
sweets in there as well.
3.
Oh, that's muggy. The sweets in the bag as well. There's nothing, there's no pockets. That's my phone.
And what are we doing, okay, is I am going to be seizing your phone at 12:38, okay? And for the purpose of that is, I believe it holds evidence on that device. Okay, so I'll place it in evidence bag.
So that sting led directly to police involvement and to the arrest of Kaplan. Now, obviously, there's no conclusion to that story, so from a legal perspective, you have to be incredibly cautious about what you say, but it doesn't look very good, does it, for poor old Ivor Kaplan, potential paedophile, certainly on the basis of that sting. Not good, not good. But what's even worse than that is the idea that pedophilia and power have gone together somehow for a long time. Now, I've always thought of that as a kind of conspiracy theory, and almost like one that you didn't need. Like, I've always thought corruption and power are about economics and dominion. If you want to understand the nature of power, just look at the wealth transfer that took place during the pandemic, I might have said once. What interests benefited and who was persecuted, controlled, or diminished by the events in the pandemic. If you look at that data, you'll be able to see, oh, look, these institutions benefited, like these states were able to regulate, the WHO suddenly had all of this power, WEF had all of this influence, Big Pharma made all of these profits, centralised media gained loads of attention and traction, pretty obvious analysis like that. But a lot of people are interested in and have long been interested in what the ulterior forces at work really are. Now, why I love this clip is because there's evidence in it that, far from being a kind of esoteric and marginal theory, the idea that paedophilia and sex scandals are covered up by the powerful has significant evidence that's growing by the day. But what's really interesting here is we've got a documentary from like 30 years ago where in plain sight we have a politician saying that sex abuse scandals are covered up. This is on the BBC, because the BBC keep coming up again and again in this stuff. Don't you notice that around pedophilia? Pretty interesting. Let's get into this.
Anyone with any sense who was in trouble would come to the whips and tell them the truth and say, no, I'm in a jam. Can you help? It might be debt. It might be...
I'm in a jam. Can you help? It might be debt. It could be as simple as debt, or it could be good old-fashioned pedophilia.
Scandal involving small boys, or any kind of scandal, which...
Let me know in the comments and chat, how was that on TV? It's a bit like the grooming gang scandal. People have known about it for ages, but because it's been promoted, shall we say, and revealed by Tommy Robinson, who is regarded malignantly by many in the UK, the story itself has somehow been passed and packaged. But we've known for ages there was a grooming gang problem in the UK. So how come that the BBC reported in 1995, broadcast in 1995, small boys who might have a problem with debt, or small boy? There's some significant difference, I would say, between debt and pedophilia. What's the matter? What's your problem? Well, I just got myself in a bit of debt. Thing is, I wanted a new three-piece suite, settee, couch, 2 armchairs, and what I've done is, I went to World of Leather and I put some money down. And the fact is, I can't afford to pay for this thing. Sin, definite sin. And you? Well, like having sex with children. Okay, well, fair. There's some degree of variation.
A member seemed likely to be mixed up in. They'd come and ask if we could help. And if we could, we did.
Wow. I mean, whilst that picture was shown, I suppose, to demonstrate that man, Tim Fortescue, was in the Pantheon. The central figure there was someone who there were always conversations about. There were always conversations about that, the central figure in that photograph being involved in pedophilia.
Come and ask if we could help. And if we could, we did. And we would do everything we can because we would store up brownie points.
Brownie points? If it's about paedophilia, don't call it brownie points.
That sounds a pretty nasty reason, but it's one of the reasons.
You get brownie points for doing things like sewing or being able to start a fire, not for covering up paedophile scandals.
If we can get a chap out of trouble, then he'll do as we ask forevermore.
That is amazing. What an amazing story. Let me know in the comments and chat what you think about that and how far you think these various grooming gang and paedophile scandals go. I try to eat healthy, but every so often you make a mistaker. You should eat 5 servings of fruit and veg a day, but who's got the time to eat 5 carrots in a single day? No one. That's just science. I cheated the other day. I fell off the healthy eating wagon. I ate a Twix the other day at a garden centre. I'm not proud of it. Even when I mess up my diet and nutrition, Field of Greens keeps me on a healthy track. Oh, Field of Greens, guide us. Guide us, oh Field of Greens, to healthy eating and keep us strong and fit. Field of Greens is radically better. It's the only supplement that promises better health or your money back. Just enjoy yourself a delicious glass of Field of Greens every day, and at your next checkup, your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back. Each fruit and vegetable in Field of Greens was doctor selected for a specific health benefit. And we don't mean Dr. Fauci. There's a heart health group, lungs and kidney groups, metabolism support, and even healthy weight. I love the energy that I get with Field of Greens. Look at me. I'm full of the stuff. I'm busting out the brim, literally overflowing with energy. It's all down to Field of Greens. And the better health promise, your doctor will notice your improved health for your money back. I got you 20% off your first order of Field of Greens to get you started. So if you want to be healthy and energetic, good organic health, good skin health, and real potency and power, get yourself Field of Greens. And to take advantage of my 20% off special deal, use the code BRAND at brickhouserussell.com. That's the code BRAND at brickhouserussell.com. You're healthier than ever. Get out of here, you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.